now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Hey, welcome to the Sportz Nutz.
Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Buy one, get one 50% off drinks.
Tequila's Grill Mexican restaurant has homemade salsa bars. They have the most authentic, most delicious, and most affordable Mexican cuisine in town.
Hey, welcome to the Sportz Nutz. Yes, this is episode 88. Don't mind the voice. I'm still, guys, getting over laryngitis and a terrible sinus infection. We hope you guys have had a spectacular Wednesday. Yes, we are coming to you live tonight on Wednesday because we have a special guest joining us. There is a lot that has transpired with this individual and their university. Extremely excited to have him on. Want to let you guys know real quick. Matt will be joining us in a little while. He is handling some business at work. So he will join us on, and cannot wait to have him on. Hank, unfortunately, is not going to join us tonight. He's got some work-related issues he has to attend to, but he sends his best to you guys as always. Also, guys, remember, Saturday, May the 3rd, from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, we will be live on location at Tequila's Grill in Easley. We will be doing giveaways for the Greenville Drive tickets, for the Hub City Spartan Burgers baseball tickets, gift cards, discounts on food, music, fun, family environment all together. Just come and check us out. That is Saturday, May the 3rd, from 6:30 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. The Sportz Nutz, excuse me, will be live on location. With that being said, guys, my man sitting right here to my right, Mr. Shane Owen. How we doing, man?
Man, doing good, man. Just sitting back enjoying some things. Wednesday's cleaning day for me, so we've been doing a bunch of house chores. Getting dishes, laundry, all that kind of stuff done. Kind of finishing up the move, kind of getting settled in. So, just happy to be here, man. Excited for our guest tonight. Man, it's a busy time for him. So, man, any little bit of time that we get with somebody, of the stature and, hey, go check him out. A big guest, doing great things this year. So, and big things coming for him too.
Absolutely.
So we're about to dive into that. So let's go.
Look, guys, we are extremely excited to have him on. He has been a guest on our show before. We are talking about the Reinhardt University men's baseball head baseball coach, Mr. Jonathan Burton, is joining us. We are going to talk about some college baseball, some college softball, perhaps. Just a lot of things have really transpired in the Reinhardt University world. Waleska, Georgia is a on and hopping place. For all those who are tuning in, make sure you guys go over to our YouTube page as well and subscribe at the Sportz Nutz 176. We are oh so close to that magic number of 200 subscribers. Help us get to that number before June the 1st. We'd really appreciate it. Guys, like I said, we have a great guest coming on. We're going to talk a little bit also about college basketball, both men's and women's. Today is the second of the first four in. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. We will talk about the first four in the women's side and some more NIT talk. But before we go any further, let's go ahead and bring him on, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Jonathan Burton, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, guys. Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for
coming on. Coming on.
We know, like I said, we know it's a very busy time of year. College baseball is in full swing. So before I go to the questions, just wanted to ask you, obviously not many people may not know y'all's record so far this season. Could you kind of give a little taste as to how the season's been going for you guys?
Yeah, listen, this has been a great year. I mean, to top what we did a year ago seemed a little far-fetched. I mean, to be the last team undefeated in the World Series, and we lost our last two and we didn't get to finish the job and be a national champion, but to finish third in the World Series last year, and then to lose what we lost a year ago, and then to pick it back up quickly and put ourselves in a position where we have another chance, hopefully, to make another deep run this year. We've started the season we're fifth in the country right now. We're 22-4. Came off a crazy win yesterday, and we get ready to get on the bus tomorrow and head to Kentucky and kind of get ready for the stretch run. But it's been a really fun ride this year.
Absolutely. So, obviously you've had one of the most amazing careers in college baseball, especially at Reinhardt. You're one of the winningest coaches, I believe, in NAIA history. Like you just said, you guys are 22-4. You guys are poised yet again to make another run to Idaho. Now, looking back at your accomplishments, which will stand out most to you?
Gosh, yeah, the wins and losses are great. I mean, all those accomplishments are awesome, but you got to have really good players and really good coaches that work as hard at it as you do. And when probably one of the most things I'm going to be proud about, when this door closes is, just how many different people you've been able to have a positive change in their life, and you've been able to make some direction, whether that's on the field or off the field, but you've led them to something bigger outside of the game of baseball. And, being able to have kids that come back and want to be a part of the program still. And, they miss being around everybody, and they miss you and miss the players. And, those are things, the relationships for me always matter more than anything, because when you've got kids, I've got a 9-year-old, a 4-year-old, and those kids look up to those guys, and they have such a big impact on how they develop. And, making sure that they understand the importance of that is definitely what's going to matter more to me.
Obviously, now, not many people may know this. You are stepping away from coaching, but you are transitioning to being the full-time athletic director at Reinhardt University. This is actually a very monumental achievement, and you have set Reinhardt up for success for many years after. Now, what are the next steps going to be for Reinhardt? Are you maybe considering helping the school transition to, say, from NAIA to maybe D3 or even a D2 level?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, our goal is to transition to NCAA Division II and be prepared for that next step. And that's going to take some work, not in the facility side, but there's some things that you've got to correct within your department in order to make that next jump. And I've told our coaches, since I became interim, the goal here was to never be a guy to come in and just flip things upside down, but it was kind of to come in. I was going to lead our department like I lead our baseball program, and we're going to have accountability. We're going to have structure. We're gonna work our tails off to be the best version of ourselves that we can, but we're not going to chase the scoreboard. We're going to have a process of how we want to get to where we want to go. But in order to do that, we got to make sure we have our coaches that know how to run a program and don't just coach your team. And when you run your program, that means you're thinking about everything and not just the wins and losses. So, that's my goal personally, is to be able to push this department into NCAA Division II. And, that's going to be a process, but I think it's something we're up for. And, it's hard to step away. Baseball's been a part of my life ever since I started playing it when I was 8 years old. And to be a head coach for 17 years, the hardest thing that I've done yet was look at my team, let them know that, I've been offered the full-time position and I was stepping away. And that was hard, but it knew it was the right thing to do. And, you pray a lot about these things. And I've got a 9-year-old that's going to be a really good player. And I want to watch him play. I want to help coach him. And I got a 4-year-old that, kind of misses her dad too. And, at 44, I've been blessed to be able to do this for a long time. And now I get to start a new goal and a new chapter. And but listen, we feel like Reinhardt is a hidden gem. We feel like it's just a matter of time before this place blows up.
My wife would actually agree 100%. As you know, we had you before. Cassie is back then Reinhardt College alumni. Now she's a Reinhardt University alumni. Shout out to all those who are watching who played with Cassie for the softball program and also coached for the softball program with her as an athlete there. So she 100% agrees that Reinhardt is just something special about the program, about the institution, about the fans, about the athletes, everything. It's just something it's so homey. And look, not many people know Waleska is, it back I can remember going to a couple of softball games with Cassie, and I can remember it's a one stoplight kind of town. So
Yeah.
it's not exactly a big town, but it's a hidden gem in North West Georgia. It's a beautiful town. And so when you say this is it, I mean, we actually agree. We're real good on that one too. Now, Shane, you have a question. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, congratulations so far on your season and how everything's going. And of course, we're kind of getting down into the nitty gritty, starting, kind of true conference play. Everybody's kind of shaking the jitters off. Weather's starting to warm up. It's light later now. We've seen, let's see, what Pacific Lutheran just take down Washington in the game, 3-1. UT Martin just took down a 20-0 Tennessee team. Kind of seen some pandemonium and kind of seen. I was actually talking with somebody about the NCAA tournament today, but we see it across all sports and college athletics now. The disparity between the top and the middle has kind of gone away in a sense, which makes it that much harder to achieve what you guys have achieved. So, kind of give us an insight, kind of what was a memorable game for you guys. I know you said the last one was pretty good, but what was a memorable game for you guys, and kind of what do you see kind of the way college baseball is going in this sense, kind of with that kind of, the mid majors are now competing with these, major conferences and stuff.
Yeah, so obviously this year, I don't know that there's a game that really stands out. In years past, when we've beaten top five teams, top 10 teams, we've tried to celebrate those a little longer because we didn't do that a lot. And this year we've done that, and even last year. So we kind of expect to be in those games and beat those teams now. The thing I'm most proud of that this team is this year is we've got 4 losses on the year, and 3 of them are the number 2 team in the country, and the other one's a team that's receiving votes. We don't have a bad loss on our resume. We've beaten the number 12 team in the country by a run rule. We beat the number 3 team last week. We've got a really good resume that we're putting together. But they're probably not one particular game, but the overall collection of this group and their ability to work hard and be coachable has been probably the most enjoyable year that I've been a part of up to this point. These kids have been great. They're coachable and they listen really well. But as far as the parity within the country, I mean, the NIL's changed everything. It's changed small college athletics. It's changed mid major, power five. I mean, it's changed it all. And you're just starting to see more and more parity throughout all different levels of baseball, football, basketball. The teams that have had the most success seem to be able to draw those guys a little bit more easily than others. We don't have an NIL deal at Reinhardt, and some NAI schools do, but we don't have that. So, if kids aren't getting what they want at that Division 1 level, then we've been fortunate enough to beat them out on some Division 2s, and like our shortstop.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Lost
and we
you.
got
There
him
you
at
go.
the break. He was let go, and oh, and
You're good.
we
You're back.
lost.
You
We
came
got our
back.
shortstop at the break from West. Am I here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're here.
Okay, we got our shortstop from University of West Virginia at the break this year, and he's a premier player, and he's changed our team in so many positive ways. But the game of baseball, man, it is getting spread out and so evenly matched at all levels. That's why you're seeing these type of upsets, and it to me, it makes the game more enjoyable. It makes it a lot more fun because you can go into these big games now and feel like you got a chance because the rosters have kind of leveled themselves out a little bit.
Absolutely. We got to give a quick shout out to Pacific Lutheran. It was a true David and Goliath kind of moment. Shout out to them, a D3 school And they even came out and said on their social media this was a more of a paycheck kind of game. I think the payout was substantial, and they didn't back down from anything. And I'm absolutely loving seeing their Twitter light up with they're heckling all the Washington fans about how could you lose to a D3 team, and they say this is how, and I love all that stuff. So the next question I have is obviously baseball has always and will to me will always be America's pastime. We've had people say baseball really isn't fun anymore, and that's just not true. There's something special about getting suited up to play and going to the ballpark with your family or friends and having a beer, having a hot dog, having nachos, peanuts, whatever. We've heard the rumblings for a while, and this season has now gone a step further. The Nashville Sounders MILB team very well could be playing for a shot at an expansion to the Major League Baseball. Charlotte has been mentioned, Vancouver, Portland. They're also very high favorites now. Now, and I don't know if you saw this, but Nashville has come out with an MLB version type uniforms. So I tip my cap to them. Do you think in the next 3 to 5 years we could see 1, 2, 3, or heck, even 4 new Major League Baseball expansions?
I don't know if we could get that high, but I do think that we could see a couple. Nashville's a great place to think about having that type of team. I mean, I lived in Nashville for probably 12 years. What a great city that is. A lot of fun, a lot of energy. Very, very big sports town. And I could see something like that happen in Nashville, but I just think that ever since COVID hit, a lot of these teams lost a lot of money, and you saw a lot of teams close down. And one thing I wish baseball would do is I wish we had a salary cap, in the bigs. I mean, it's getting a little out of control and gets a little frustrating for me to watch because I get it. These are special, special players, but some of the contracts that you're seeing now just are ludicrous. And I would like to see us be able to operate under that cap better, because I think if we did that, we could have more of these teams that we're talking about, because we could spread the wealth a little bit better. But right now it's the Dodgers and everybody else, or it's the Yankees and I mean it's pretty much the same two teams every year, and it's just like, well, who's going to spend the most money this year? So it's pretty unbelievable what those teams have.
Absolutely. Shane, you have a question. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, I know you mentioned your 9 and 4-year-old. I grew up in Southwest Virginia and was right there. Grew up in Radford, Virginia, so Radford University was right there, and I actually had the pleasure of being a bat boy for the team. Learned a lot of things about life, maybe too much at that young age, being around the older kids and stuff like that, especially for my parents' liking. But man, you said about the bond that they've kind of come together with the team and all. I know you're not necessarily leaving the university and all, but you're not going to get necessarily that one-on-one time that you've been able to get with the players. Kind of tell us how special that bond is, between your family and the team, and then just kind of what you might miss the most about that one-on-one time that you've been accustomed to for so many years now.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the harder things, is the relationship that I have in that locker room, off the field, on the field. Like, be able to coach a kid tough, and then him still be able to come in your office and hang out and kind of talk about life. And my son at 9 year old now is, you know I'm comfortable with him out there when we're taking BPs out there shagging and catching balls in the outfield off these guys' bats, and they're helping him with his footwork. And after every game, Kenzie's running around the bases and and playing tag with the guys. And it's going to be hard. It might be harder on on my wife than anybody, because this is all that we've known with our kids. But when you have to make a decision like this, it's baseball is going to be over for everybody at some point. And I kind of had kind of had a moment sitting at a stoplight. I guess I'd turned 44 the first week of March, and I'm like, man, in 6 years I'm gonna be 50, and in 6 years my son's gonna have a permit, and I'm like, I'm not ready for this. Like I'm not ready to miss all of the good stuff that he's gonna be doing, and I wanna I kind of want to be a fan, and I want to help other coaches. I'm a builder, and I love to improve facilities. I love to work on facilities. I love to help coaches. I love to do everything I can to make the best environment possible for everybody. That's why I feel like this next calling is going to be right up my alley. But those relationships, man, are going to be hard. But I also know that with as many players as we're losing this year, coming off this year, this is a perfect reset time for a new coach to kind of bring in his own group that doesn't just compare Coach Burton to the new coach. And that's important because it helps him get settled. And most importantly, allows us to continue to grow. The culture's in place, the facilities are there. We've worked our tails off to put us where we are on the map. And I'm confident that moving forward, we're not going to miss a beat. And I can tell you this, I'm going to make darn sure baseball doesn't fall down.
Love hearing, and it's so funny you just said this about ages. So I have a 7, a 5, a 4, and an about to be 8-month old, and I'm turning 41 at the end of April. And when you just said in 6 years you'd be 50, I'm thinking, holy cow! In 10 years I'll have a 17-year-old, and I'm like, where does time go? Now look, Matt's
Yeah.
got a 9-year-old too, and he's already kind of like, oh my goodness, that time is creeping away pretty quick. So it definitely catches up to you. Matt, you have a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, first off, Jonathan, I'm a little late to the party, man, but I've been listening and tuning in, man. Once again, it's a pleasure to have you on, man. Thank you for coming on with us, man. We here at the Sportz Nutz, we really appreciate it. I do have a question. Pretty much, man. Now the road to the road to Omaha. It's going to be a special one. Teams that haven't been ranked in over a decade are finally gracing like national rankings. We're seeing teams from everywhere pop up. Like one school, like we like to mention here on the show is Hawaii all the time. They have something called the Manoa Magic, where it's long believed that where the stadium is located, the ancestors of the Hawaiian gods and people have given them an advantage. And the record indicates that it may have some truths to it, a little superstitious. But my question for you is, could we be in store for not just a season to remember, but, maybe we are starting a revolution in college baseball where we're going to see teams with better home field advantage be the difference in a chance to host a regional or even a super regional?
Yeah, listen, home field advantage in baseball is crucial because if you get a chance to play, if you go to a World Series on the field that you practice on and you play a majority of your games, that's a huge advantage because you put yourself in the best position possible in your environment. And I know you got to be neutral when other teams are there because there's certain things that you can and you can't do. Switching in dugouts and all that. I always think that's kind of funny. But at the end of the day, when you host and you play at home and you put yourself in that position, you're giving yourselves tremendous odds to make it to that next step. And I do think that, all the sayings and all the antics that guys and players do when you have a team that's as close as what, and I've been following Hawaii as close as what they seem to be, you just give yourself that much more confidence to finally seal the deal and get over that big hump because home field advantage does matter.
Absolutely. And, Hawaii obviously is a very big, important program to us. I don't know if you knew, we had the now unfortunate former athletic director, but at the time, the athletic director, Craig Angeles, come on our show. Shout out to Craig Angeles. He's a great guy. We absolutely love him. I hope he, I know that Hawaii has just started doing their national search for another athletic director. His name has been mentioned. Fingers crossed he comes back. Now, we had him on, and it was a great episode. It garnished over 8 million views and listens combined. We were able to, actually, Shane asked the question, but I had gotten word through a source of mine that University of Hawaii and Nike were going to have an apparel agreement. And so I kind of laid low on that question for a little while. And then I watched a lot of things to see if it would be mentioned. It was never mentioned. Nobody was talking about it, not even KHON2 in Hawaii. Rob DeMello, great guy, I love him. And so I said, Shane, before Craig came, I said, Shane, you're going to ask him about the Nike and Hawaii deal. And he said, why? And I said, because it's going to go viral, because nobody knows about this yet. And I promise you it's going to go viral. And when we asked it, Craig, he got like a shock of, he goes, well, you guys really know your homework and do your research, because nobody really knows about that yet. And how'd you get it? And that's when I said, a good journalist doesn't reveal their sources, because that's true. And it took off. And it started with the entire state of Hawaii aired it. And then it went to California. It went to Washington. It went to Oregon, Texas, Massachusetts, Alabama, Georgia. It literally just kept going. Well, then the Big Ten network picked it up. And that's when it really took off. And it's just continued to go on and on from there. And sure enough, Hawaii officially made the announcement about 4 weeks ago that Nike and Hawaii have agreed to the 7-year deal. So that, when we say Hawaii is a very big, important institution, as it really is, but, Reinhardt is also a very important institution, obviously, with my wife being an alumni there. Now, like I told you, my daughter, she, I have 4. Yes, I'm a girl dad times 4. My daughter is big into basketball, and she's also big into softball. Now Addison has she is taken off. She is thriving in both sports, but especially softball. Now, the popularity of women's sports is ever growing. Thank goodness for that. Now, do you believe they will bring back the full professional softball league? You remember they had it. It was dissolved in 2020. And then I know also, and starting in the year 2026, there will be a professional women's baseball league again, and it will consist of 6 teams. Now, they did say that if it continues to go in the right direction by the year 2028, we could see it grow between 8 to possibly 10 teams. And Atlanta has been mentioned on this list, and there has also been investors who have said they want to buy into this. Now, this is a 2-parter question. The first one is obviously, do you think they will bring back the women's professional softball league? And could we maybe see both the professional baseball league and women's softball league take off?
Man, that would be awesome. I mean, I think about women's flag football and how it's starting to go, and the NFL really getting behind women's flag football. I think Major League Baseball needs to take that step and really push the professional softball side, because, man, there's some talented girls. Like, I look at our girls play in, and I look at Georgia Gwinnett, and I look at some others. Like, there's some really good softball players at this level that could play professionally and do really well. I know there was the head softball coach at Lindsey Wilson at the college I was at before. I think their head softball coach played on Team Canada, and had a really good run at I think they finished maybe second or third. I can't remember, but she was a big part of that. And yeah, anything that we can do to make more opportunity for women in sports, I'm all for. I think it's great. I think the having them in a big city
Oh, your audio went out again.
would be
Your audio.
huge.
There we go. Now we can hear you.
Audio go out again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're good. You're
we're
back
good
now.
now.
I don't know what's happening. But no, Major League Baseball, for me, needs to get on board and push that, because I feel like if they did that, then it's going to have the same result as what women's flag football is in terms of how the NFL is pushing it.
Shane, you have a question. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, like I had mentioned before, we're kind of in the nitty gritty parts of the season where it's full conference play kind of from here on out until the tournaments and stuff like that. As a coach, everyone out there, kind of wants to know, give us a little insight, kind of a little pep talk, that maybe you would give, the team and all this midpoint during the season, kind of give us a little inspiration, to make it through the rest of the week.
Well, I mean, I don't know for us as much. I've always felt like if you have to get players excited to play the game of baseball every day, you're probably uphill in your battle. And baseball is one of those sports that you've got to have a short memory in, because if you play bad on a Friday, you got to flush it and play well on Saturday to win the series. So my biggest thing for us when I talk to our team is making sure that they understand that every day that we step on the field, we approach it very businesslike, and because it's a workplace, and our job is to come out there, as players and coaches, is to go out and win the day. And we break the game up in thirds, innings 1 through 3, 4 through 6, and then 7 through 9. And we always have specific goals for each of those parts of the baseball game. The first three is to get the lead, the next three is to extend the lead, and the last three is to win the game. And we always meet after, in front of the dugout, after each of those innings are done, so that we can shorten the game. And because baseball is a long game, and you've got to find a way to shorten it so that you can stay focused in short bunches. But a lot of my motivation for our team simply comes from our preparation, because we feel like that when you're prepared, there's no such thing as pressure. Those pressure are things that you put on yourself when you're not prepared. And if you work on the things that you need to have success on in baseball, or any sport, you're going to be ready for the big moment when they happen. So I don't I don't know that I really have the big speeches. Those just kind of come in the moments. When we were in the World Series, and I'm sure I've had some good ones, because they've got a couple of mine and put them on the social media page, and I was like, man, I don't even remember saying those things. Like, it's just you just get in the moment, and you're competing and you're fighting, and it just kind of flows. And I don't know that I really rehearse how we're going to talk to the team. It's just something that it's hard to explain. It's just something that when you've coached in over 930 something games, like I have as a head coach, like, you just it becomes natural, and it's part of who you are. And but I will say this: the players will feed off you in a negative or positive way. And if you start panicking, they panic. If you're excited, they're excited. So the head coach has such a pivotal role in the outcome of how you start the game, based on your attitude and how you approach each game. So a lot of my speeches just kind of come from, they just come to me. It's not anything that I kind of rehearse or anything.
I like that. All right, Matt. Last question. Go ahead.
All right, Coach, your first day as an AD, I want you to kind of let us know. I know we can't predict the future here, but I kind of want you to let us know, or go through it with us. What's on your checklist as on your first day as an AD?
Woo. Man, that's a big checklist. Doing two jobs at one time has been a little overwhelming. I've been meeting with each of the coaches individually, so that when July 1st gets here and it's full time, and I'm going to be honest, Matt, I, the only way that I knew if I wanted to be the next athletic director is I have to move into that office, and I have to try to be the AD right now. Like, if I don't go at this, and I'm just the guy that's kind of holding the boat from keep it from tipping over, I'm never going to know if I really want to give up baseball, because people still tell me, like, man, how can you give up baseball? Like, you're in the prime of your career. Like, look at your teams. Look, like, yeah, when you look at the records, sure, but there's so much more substance behind that. AD for me has always been my end game. I never expected to coach until I was 70 years old. Like, I want to do something else, and I want to be someone different than who my children see me as too. I want to make sure they still see me as dad, and not just as somebody else's coach. But first day in office, for me, I'm probably going to get to take a deep breath, because I also serve as the president of our Baseball Coaches Association this year in the NAIA. I'm a rater for the national committee. I'm on the selection committee for picking all the at-large teams. Now I'm the head coach. Now I'm the AD. Like, I'm probably going to sit in that desk and be honest, probably fall asleep. But in all fairness, I'm very focused on ascending our football program and becoming a national champion, finding ways for all of our teams to be more successful than they were, but to also find the right coaches in our department that are not just going to chase wins and losses. They're going to try to make a difference, because when you have a plan and you focus on the plan and you execute the process, those wins take care of themselves. And I'm really looking forward to getting in there, raising money, building our department, and trying to find a way for us to become an NCAA Division II school in the next 4 to 5 years. And if we can do those things and start that process, then Reinhardt's going to be in a really good spot.
Absolutely. We look forward to continued success at Reinhardt University. Obviously, the only path to go is up now, and you've set them up for great, successful runs, not only now, but in the future. And, we tip our caps to you. We send you a huge congratulations on taking this next adventure as part of the journey that we all have. And you have a journey to be the athletic director. Who's to say Reinhardt, the next 10 to 12 years couldn't advance to becoming an FBS kind of program. We don't know yet. With the future, obviously looks bright for you guys. We can't wait to see what the future has in hold. Coach, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for coming on our show tonight, coming on our show in general as a coach. Now, the next time we have you on, we're no longer going to call you Coach Burton. We're going to call you well, we might still call you Coach Burton, but you're going to be known as the athletic director. But we've had an absolute blast having you on. We appreciate you. We're cheering on the Eagles left and right. And we do have one request, is that you guys go and finish the season strong. And let's hope that you guys at the end of May are hoisting that ever covenant World Series trophy for NAIA baseball, and we'll forever immortalize you in the world of sports.
Yes, sir. Well, thank y'all for having me. And anytime, I enjoy getting on and talking about Reinhardt.
You take care of yourself, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay. Thanks, Brandon.
Oh, yeah. Best of luck.
Thanks, guys.
Guys, talk about a great excitement for the future. Like, I can't wait to see what he has in store for Reinhardt University. They're only going to get better. We know that. And he is such a successful individual, and he is a great leader. He's going to make the right choices for the program, and I can't wait to see what he has in store for them. So, guys, obviously, we started a little late with this gentleman right here, but Mr. Matt, how are you doing, man?
Man, everything's doing good. Everything's going good. Just duty calls. Things happen. So yeah, well, we're good. We're good, man. Happy to be here with you guys. Glad I was able to catch the end of Coach there.
So, guys, I have to admit, I have to eat crow. Last night, we had a conversation as to who would win, and I was emphatically saying San Diego State. Yeah. Matt, do you have a flag? Shane, do you have a flag? Because mine's on the floor, and I'm not bending over to pick it up. If you have a flag, throw it on me right now.
That sounds about like the effort San Diego State gave last night.
Yeah, Matt has just done a flag on me, guys. At one point, North Carolina was up by over 40 points. That is remarkable to see. Now look, obviously the question's now going to come is how far could they go? It's not over. The fat lady has not sung. No offense, the fat lady has not sung yet for NCAA basketball. So, I mean, for all we know, we could see UNC lose the next game. Hey, real quick, guys, I want to give a special shout out to my daughter, Aspen. Shane, I told you this before the show, but Matt doesn't know. My daughter was a real trooper, and she got her ears pierced today with little flower earrings. Excuse me, I'm gonna have Cassie hand me her so I can show you guys the lovely earrings of Aspen. Hi, baby. As you guys, she did really good, and yeah, obviously she screamed her eyeballs off, but she's a real trooper. Just want to give a quick shout out to Aspen for getting her ears pierced. All right, so like I said, you guys, I'm eating crow tonight because UNC absolutely mollywhopped San Diego State. Now, Matt, we're sitting here watching American take on St. Mary's. We said last night that if American comes out red hot, they're going to win. Well, they were doing good, and unfortunately, their star athlete, Shane and I both agree, he looks like he tore his ACL on a really rough plant. His knee went in an awkward direction. He left, came back with a sleeve on, planted again, and he completely collapsed. His knee gave out underneath him. He has not returned since, and you can actually see American is really kind of they're like in a free for all, like, what are we going to do? Right now, Mount St. Mary's is up 64-51. So, Matt, it looks like we are going to have to go ahead and crown Mount St. Mary's as the advancement into the next round, the official round. And it's just heartbreaking to see an injury do that to somebody, you know?
Yeah, that one's tough, man. It's always a tough one that happens during the biggest game of your career too, as well. It sucks, man. You know, because he was really good player, but now
17 points per game.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, man. But so now their whole system is kind of, I won't say flawed, but now they have to go to the backup plan, and their backup planning ain't backup planning right now. So.
Yeah. So it is reported on ESPN. Excuse me. It is being reported on ESPN that he is scheduled to have an MRI, but the results do not look promising. He is a fifth-year senior. He is the school's top 10 for points, which at 1,856, and rebounds of 760. If this is how he goes out, unfortunately, I hope that he has an opportunity to continue his playing career. Obviously, he's a fantastic player. So if for all those who are watching, just keep a little shout out for him and hope for the best. Also, want to let you guys know, NIT second day coverage of NIT has commenced, and North Texas is playing host to our favorite team, the Furman Paladins. It is currently a 10-8 score. Shout out to the Furman Paladins. Let's hope they advance to the next round of the NIT tournament. So, obviously, sports world has been it's been crazy as of late. I don't know if you guys saw this, but North Carolina State has plucked away the McNeese head coach, and he will now be coaching at NC State, which, in case you guys didn't know,
before the game, that's my biggest thing. Like, I mean, I understand it, a lot in college football, because you know that you're only going to play this one last game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can coach out that bowl game or whatever with that team. But NCAA tournament, we're talking about NC State. NC State just made a marvelous run last year as a lower seed. I believe maybe a 12 seed at that, the same of which McNeese State is. So, yep. I mean, you can kind of look at it, one or two ways, but, being from a smaller school, kind of being brought up to a major conference and all, I think that, it's kind of a bad move. And I think that game that we were talking about against Clemson is going to get a lot worse than what we thought.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, Will Wade actually is a former Clemson alumni. They are McNeese. They did win the Southland Conference regular season and the tournament championship. Now they are playing Clemson on Thursday. But yeah, now this kind of sweetens the pie, I guess you could say, for him to to show that he is worthy of going to NC State, and he could also just really toilet bowl the season away. But obviously, let's give a quick shout out to Will Wade for taking the next steps in his journey and becoming the head basketball coach at NC State. So obviously, it's a interesting move. You know what I mean? Now, look, guys, baseball has officially started. Yes, we are a week away officially from opening day in Major League Baseball. However, the Tokyo series commenced the start of the baseball season. In the first game, it was an absolute thrashing by the Dodgers. I believe they held them to like a 3-hit shutout or whatever. And then it started to have that same sentiment again this morning. And then one of their star pitchers, he walked in a run. They gave up the no-hit and they gave up the shutout. The Dodgers ended up winning 6-3. But it's going to be, if that's an indication, it's going to be fun to see what Major League Baseball is going to be about, and I can't wait to get it going. What about you, Shane? How excited are you that next Thursday literally is opening day?
Oh yeah, well, whenever you have meaningful games that are in the spotlight this early in the season, for the Dodgers and the Cubs, their season started. You kind of look at it like that, but man, it's like I said before, the sun's out later, it's getting warmer. It makes you want to get out and do things. But man, baseball is just one of those things that, this time of year, especially, you get geared up for it, and man, you're ready to go. And then you get little teasers like this Tokyo series and all, which I watched a little bit of it this morning, kind of waiting to go into work and all, but it wasn't what I expected. And if that's what the Dodgers paid that much money for in the pitcher, he looked good, but the Cubs are not that great.
No, they're not.
So, but I mean, it's the Dodgers. You're going to have to score 5 runs to beat the Dodgers because on a bad day, as we saw today, they score 6. So.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, shout out to Patrick Corbin. Signed a 1-year veteran deal with the Texas Rangers. Remember, he's entering his 13th year in Major League Baseball. He did struggle throughout his entire 6-year, $140 million contract with the Nationals. But yeah, shout out to him. Obviously, the Rangers, they are heavily depleted with injuries. But shout out to them. Real quick, want to let you guys know Mount St. Mary's has now taken almost a 20-point lead over American. So this game is pretty much going to be a wrap. But congratulations to the American Eagles for a tremendous season. Obviously, injuries do play a huge role in it too.
You still got 9 minutes.
I do want to bring this up to you guys.
I've seen worse.
Oh yeah, we all have. I do want to bring this up to you. A familiar face is officially an Atlanta Brave again, but not in the aspect that we think. He signed a minor league contract worth $2 million. Yes, we're talking about the great Craig Kimbrell. He is returning, which I think this is probably it. This is probably his last hurrah. So if say he does get a chance to be called up to the Atlanta Braves rotation, and whatever happens with this season, I think that's it. I really do. I think he will. I don't think he's going to be the closer. I think he'll be the the setup for Raisel Iglesias. But I'm so happy to see Kimbrell back. He was drafted in 08 by the Atlanta Braves. He won the World Series with the Boston Red Sox, so he has had the chance to taste what it's like to be a World Series championship. But how about this, guys? Let's go ahead and let's rub the crystal ball, clap our feet 3 times, and say there's no place like home for Craig Kimbrell. I would love to see him ride out in that sunset one last time, hoisting that World Series trophy. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, I don't think they brought him back, to expect any major contribution in any way. But I think it's just something just to do right by him. Let him go out kind of on his terms. But who knows, man? We've seen worse. Nobody thought, we would have a Cy Young winner last year. So nobody thought that. So, but we'll see how these things work, man. You know how baseball is such an enigmatic sport.
You're playing. Think about this. You're playing 162 regular season games.
Mm-hmm.
It's anybody's playing field as to what can happen.
But when you're a setup man and a closer, you're getting in 90% of those games for a ninth of those games. So I mean, you're talking about, say, rough math. I would say, you've got probably 1,500 pitches during the season on your arm. That's it. Being the specialist type of pitcher that he is, that's a little bit different toll. I mean, look at what Chapman did for so long. I mean, everybody signed him to a one-year deal, because everybody knew eventually Father Time catches up. They don't call it Father Time for anything, because you are getting older. So it does catch up, and I mean, Chapman's still a great player, and Kimbrel, as long as you still got that velocity and that cutter, he could be a good setup man, or maybe even if the velocity's gone, give us 2-3 innings for the next year to give us a chance for that championship.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, North Alabama. I don't know if you see the score. They're absolutely being demolished. It's 23-3 in the first half still against Bradley. So yeah, that's gonna be a big mountain to climb. So ouch. Hey guys, we've had a great episode tonight. We got to be around with you guys. We have to give you a little update of what's going on. Matt and Shane do not know this information I'm about to share. So excited about this. It looks like Sean Witherspoon will be on the show this Friday. I'm waiting for confirmation from the director of communications for Pace Academy. But it looks like it's a very real possibility, Matt. So we're excited. We're going to have Spoon on our show. With that being said, make sure you guys get a chance to like our Facebook page, follow our Twitter page, and by golly, go subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Sportz Nutz 176. Look, it's literally right there. Subscribe there right now. Help us get to that number 200 subscribers by June 1st. We're almost there. We're only 30 away from 200, which means you guys are enjoying the content we're bringing. So, what does that mean? Yes, we will have an episode this Friday. Yes, 3 episodes this week. It will be at Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern as our normal time. We may have to adjust the time just a little bit, just depending on Spoon's schedule, but there's a very good chance he's coming on this Friday. I will let you guys know. I will post also when we have the official update, which will be tomorrow, that it is good to go. So stay tuned for that one. Remember, guys, Saturday, May the 3rd, it is live on location. We are celebrating our 100th episode. Matt, we have officially hit the century mark. We are 100 years old. Can you believe that, man?
Yeah, man, that's an amazing feat. A lot of shows don't make it to half of what we've done. So, amazing feat.
Yeah.
Ready to do another 100.
So we're gonna say it this way: 100 down and 100 more to go till 200, and we can do this with you guys. We appreciate it. So, what is going to happen for the 100th episode? There will be ticket giveaways for the Greenville Drive, for the Hub City Spartan Burgers, both MILB teams, minor league baseball teams. It's 2 tickets each. We may have some gift cards, some dinner restaurant gift cards to give away. I'm still working on that one as well. But you'll get to see the 4 lovely faces of ours: Matt, Shane, myself, and Hank. We will be there together. We will also be giving discounts on food. We'll have good music, good times. You may even get a chance to come on and chime on the show with us with a segment. So stay tuned for that. Be ready, though, to come and check us out Saturday, May the 3rd from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. With that being said, guys, for our good friend, Coach Jonathan Burton, now he will be the head coach officially until July 1st, and then he becomes the full-time athletic director at Reinhardt University. Jimmy, what do you tell these lovely people?
Oh man, as always, it's been a pleasure. I believe Coach, kind of broke it down for us. I was talking about giving us a little bit of motivation through the week. They break it down into thirds. First, third inning. Hey, that's Monday, Tuesday. Hey, get the lead. Hey, Wednesday, Thursday. Hey, give yourself a cushion. Set yourself up, and then hey, Friday, Saturday. Win. Go have fun. Go enjoy life. Matt's going to tell you a little bit more about it, but as always, peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease, indeed. All right, Matt. What do you tell these lovely people not to get done?
Yes, our March Madness coming up. People gonna be going out to bars, drinking, things like that. Guys, don't get flagged. Just do not get flagged. Do not, out there drinking with your friends. Don't get caught up. Make sure you have a designated driver or take an Uber home. Don't get flagged. Don't want the whoops. Don't want those guys behind you.
There's those
don't want those behind you. Don't want to see those lights, man. You see those lights, it's over.
No GSP.
Nope. Don't want to see that. Don't want to see that.
Hey guys, we've had an absolute blast with you all. Thank you all for tuning in. For everybody who watched, who was Reinhardt University alumni, with Cassie, with the team, with regards to Coach Burton, we really do appreciate you guys coming on and spending a little under an hour with us. You guys have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful week. Rest of your week. We will see you again on Friday. Until then, peace up, A-Town down. Greatest sports city there ever was. Hey, Atlanta Braves, let's get it going. Let's bring Craig Kimbrell that World Series championship. Y'all take care. Have a lovely evening, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
All right, guys.